The Prime Minister is off to Brussels for an informal summit with EU leaders. This is the first time this has happened since Brexit, and that's kind of a big deal because it shows that the relationship between the UK and the EU is getting a bit better after a very difficult few years. So, what does he want to get out of these talks, and is the EU willing to give it to him? Top of the agenda is defence. He wants to work more closely with the EU on buying military equipment to keep up support for Ukraine in the war against Russia and to show the US that Europe is pulling its weight. Next is trade. His government has said they will get growth back in the economy, and getting rid of some of the most expensive and time-consuming Brexit barriers could really help with that. One area where things could change is food, cutting down on the mountains of paperwork that are currently facing British producers. Also, looser travel restrictions for musicians so that bands and artists can tour more easily. And finally, policing and immigration. The UK wants much more intelligence sharing to tackle cross-border crimes like people smuggling and money laundering. What could be a lot more contentious, though, are returns agreements, sending those people who cross the channel to get into the UK on small boats back to the country that they originally came from. Now, these talks are just the starting point for what could turn into months of negotiations. During that time, the government will need to get the best deal that they can, whilst at the same time reassuring Brexit voters that the UK is not rejoining the EU by the back door.